Imagine the most remote, unforgiving place on Earth, Antarctica, a continent of ice where temperatures drop so low that steel can crack. Now, picture this: a cruise ship, lost to the world for over 2 decades, has just been found, perfectly preserved, entombed in that very ice. This isn't just a story, it's a chilling mystery that blurs the line between a maritime disaster and a modern ghost legend. For 25 years, the disappearance of the SS Arctic Voyager baffled everyone. How could a state-of-the-art vessel with hundreds of people on board simply vanish? Now, its frozen hulk has reappeared, and with it, secrets that have been buried in frost and silence for a generation. This is the incredible, haunting tale of the ghost ship of the Southern Ocean. Our story begins on January 6, 2000. The Arctic Voyager, a luxurious cruise liner, set sail from Ushuaia, Argentina, the city at the end of the world. On board were 486 passengers and 214 crew members, all embarking on a once-in-a-lifetime journey to the pristine wilderness of Antarctica. They were promised breathtaking glaciers, colonies of penguins, and the majestic, untouched beauty of the frozen continent. But 3 days into the voyage, while navigating the treacherous Drake Passage, the ship went completely silent. On January 9th, all communication abruptly stopped. There were no distress calls, no emergency beacons, nothing. The Arctic Voyager vanished as if it had been swallowed whole by the sea. What followed was one of the largest search and rescue operations in modern history. Icebreakers, aircraft, and naval vessels from several nations scoured thousands of square kilometers of the Southern Ocean. They searched for months, but found nothing. No lifeboats, no debris, not even an oil slick, just the vast, indifferent waves of the Antarctic. By the end of the year, the ship was officially declared lost at sea. Families mourned, memorials were held, and the Arctic Voyager became another ghost story whispered among sailors. Fast forward 25 years to the Antarctic winter of 2025. A team of climate researchers was conducting aerial surveys of the Larsen C ice shelf when they noticed something strange. A massive, metallic shape was partially visible beneath the ice, revealed by the melting permafrost. Initial scans confirmed their suspicions. It was the outline of a large vessel. An international expedition team was dispatched to the site, and what they found defied all logic. There, trapped in layers of ancient ice, was the SS Arctic Voyager intact, eerily preserved, and frozen in time. The ship's hull was remarkably undamaged. It sent shockwaves around the world. How did a cruise ship that vanished near South America end up here, 2,000 miles from its last known location? And the most chilling question of all, what happened to the nearly 700 people on board? The expedition team managed to find a breach in the hull, likely caused by the immense pressure of the ice, and they entered the ship. The scene inside was both fascinating and terrifying. The interiors were perfectly preserved, as if flash frozen. In the grand dining room, tables were still set with plates and glasses. In the cabins, personal belongings, coats, and open luggage were scattered about. On the grand ballroom stage, a piano stood covered in a delicate layer of frost, its keys untouched. In the galley, pots and pans were still on the stoves, as if the chefs had vanished in the middle of preparing a meal. Every deck told the same haunting story, a single moment, frozen forever. Then came the most unsettling discovery of all, the remains. Over 100 bodies were found throughout the ship, perfectly preserved by the sub-zero temperatures. They looked as if they had simply fallen asleep. Many were found in their cabins, others seated in lounges. Autopsies later revealed no signs of violence, no dehydration, no starvation. It was as if life had just stopped. From the moment the ship was found, theories began to fly, ranging from the scientific to the supernatural. One leading theory suggests the ship was caught in a rare super whiteout storm, a terrifying phenomenon where visibility drops to absolute zero and temperatures plummet instantly, freezing instruments and electronics. If the ship lost all power, it could have become a ghost ship, drifting silently into the Antarctic ice pack, where it was slowly engulfed by expanding glaciers. The passengers and crew might have succumbed to rapid onset hypothermia as the ship's systems failed. But this theory doesn't fully explain the complete lack of distress signals. Other scientists propose that the ship drifted into a powerful magnetic anomaly near the South Magnetic Pole. Such a disturbance could have instantly disabled all navigation, radio, and electrical systems, leaving the vessel blind and adrift in the world's most hostile environment. Of course, where there's mystery, there are conspiracy theories. Some claim the Arctic Voyager wasn't just a cruise ship, but a front for a covert research mission, possibly testing advanced climate control or deep-sea technology. According to this theory, something went catastrophically wrong, and the entire incident was covered up. Documents leaked online in 2026, though unverified, seem to suggest that several high-level scientists and military consultants were on the passenger list. Was the Arctic Voyager more than it seemed? The haunting condition of the ship, its people frozen in lifelike poses, led the media to dub it the ghost ship of ice. Paranormal enthusiasts offered their own explanations, suggesting the ship entered a time distortion or a temporal anomaly caused by the unique magnetic fields of the pole, only to reappear decades later as the ice receded. It sounds like science fiction, but in the face of such an impossible discovery, even the most far-fetched ideas were considered. While the mystery captures our imagination, science does provide some answers. The incredible preservation of the ship and its occupants is due to Antarctica's unique environment, sub-zero temperatures, a near-total lack of bacteria, and minimal oxygen. The Arctic Voyager was essentially cryogenically sealed inside a glacier, which halted all decay. This makes it not only a ghostly discovery, but also an incredible time capsule, a frozen snapshot of life in the year 2000. Among the most poignant discoveries were journals, cameras, and digital devices recovered from the crew's quarters. While many were damaged beyond repair, a few files were successfully restored. One final journal entry, written by a crew member, is particularly chilling. It reads, "The lights flickered again. The captain says we've lost contact with the satellites. The sea is turning to mist, and the air feels heavier. The passengers are anxious. I can shake this feeling that we've drifted somewhere we shouldn't be." Another piece of evidence was a digital photo recovered from a frozen camera. It shows a group of passengers gathered on the deck, staring out at a thick, unnatural fog enveloping the horizon. The timestamp on the photo reads January 9, 2000. For 27 a.m. the very morning, the ship disappeared forever. Today, the Arctic Voyager remains partially encased in ice, a protected international research site. The United Nations has prohibited any tourism to the area, out of respect for the victims and for environmental safety. Scientists continue to study the ship, hoping the data they collect will rewrite parts of maritime history and, perhaps, one day, solve the mystery. For the families of the victims, the discovery brought a strange, bittersweet closure, knowing, at last, where their loved ones rest, frozen in the heart of the world's coldest wilderness. But the core questions endure. How did the ship travel so far off course? Why was no distress signal ever sent? And what really happened in those final, silent hours? The story of the lost cruise ship is a stark reminder of nature's awesome power over human ambition. It shows us that even in our modern world of GPS and instant communication, there are still vast, unknown places where we are not in control. The Arctic Voyager now sleeps beneath the eternal ice, a frozen monument to a moment in time, its story whispered on the polar winds. Perhaps the true power of this mystery lies in the questions that remain unanswered. It speaks to the eternal allure of the sea, a force that gives life, takes it away, and forever keeps its deepest secrets. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more explorations into the world's greatest mysteries. Stay curious and stay safe.